Hi, I'm Lily, and today I'm going to be showing a tie-dye tutorial. So what I'm doing is a crumple or crinkle tie-dye, and I put on my sweatshirt for an example. At the beginning of the quarantine, tie-dye sweatshirts were really big, and I saw a lot of them online that I liked, but they were more on the expensive side. So my boyfriend suggested to me that I buy a white sweatshirt and tie-dye it myself, and I had a great time doing it and I love the result, so I wanted to show that today. Alright, now I'm inside and I've changed because you want to put on something that you don't really care about because the dye can stain really easily. So some materials that I have, I got a tulip tie-dye kit. I know they have these on Amazon. You can get them pretty much any craft store too. So today I'm going to be using the blue, and I'll mix that after. And gloves, so that they're not necessary, but so the dye doesn't stain your hands at all. You need rubber bands for the shirt before you dye it. And I have the shirt, of course. And then a plastic bag. I got a 2-gallon Ziploc bag to put it in to set. Alright, so behind the scenes, I did a couple steps. I filled the dye. You just fill it with warm water. And for the sweatshirt that I showed at the beginning, the color wasn't light enough for what I wanted. So in that case, you can fill it, dump some of it out, keep filling it with water, dumping it until you get the light color that you want. And what you want to do to test it is just put a little bit on a paper towel. And this is why you wear gloves, because I already got some dye on my hands. And the other step that I did was you want to get the shirt damp. We did use warm water. By the time you get it wherever you're putting it, it's not warm anymore, so I don't know how much the warm water makes a difference, but I would suggest warm water. So for the crinkle, you just there's not really any particular technique to it. You can kind of do it however you want the shirt to come out. So just sort of bunch up. This is where the crumple part comes into it, is just sort of bunch up sections. Again, I don't really have a plan for it, so I'm just sort of going along, bunching different parts. A lot of it's really trial and error. So I'm using a t-shirt obviously for this one, but you can use any item of clothing that you want. I have seen, when I was trying to figure out what item of clothing I might do for this video, I even saw scrunchies that people have tie-dyed. So you can get really creative with it. Just make sure that they're mostly cotton. To just kind of take sections of it and bunch them up and I'm gonna redo that. Put the rubber bands tight. There we go. Let's try this section. And I'm using rubber bands that we've had in the house because I used the tie-dye kit before, but those do, the tulip ones, at least I can't speak for all of them, they do come with rubber bands and gloves. Alright, so we added a bunch more rubber bands here. So now it's really secure, it's all bunched securely together so you can really get the tie-dye in there. So now, gloves. And I'm sure probably everybody has gloves around the house right now. Alright, that was the fun part. So this is really just experimental. Like with the crumpling, there's not really a technique to it. You just have to do it however you want the tie-dye to come out. So you can do a lot, you can do a little. I'm just gonna start. I'll probably go over this side again, but I'll flip it over first and do the other side. I like the way this color came out. This looks really pretty. Make sure you get the sides of it too. And then something that I saw in a video tutorial online was to make sure you get down in between all these spaces, because otherwise you're gonna have a lot of white space like there. So make sure that you get down in some of those. I don't know, I don't want to get it too saturated, but I don't want to leave too many white spots either. But like I said, it's really experimental. And I'm just going to take that one off. And if you don't like it, you can always get another t-shirt and try it again. This side's probably got a little bit more than the other side, but you know, well, you have to wait and see really after you get it all finished and washed. That's when you really know how it came out. And when I did the purple sweatshirt, I had no idea what it was gonna look like. And I feel like it turned out like something you would buy in a store. All right, so I would say I'm done with the tie-dye portion. Like I said, you can do more than this, you can do less than this. It is completely a personal decision, but this is what mine looks like. So then you're gonna take your plastic bag. I think I got some, oh, it's on the outside. I got dye on the outside of it. Take your plastic bag, carefully make sure it's also bunched up. There we go. Put the shirt in there. And I'll keep the gloves on to close it since I got dye on the outside. All right, and then there are different amounts of time that you can leave it to sit. The tie-dye kit that I have suggests 6 to 8 hours, and that's what I did last time, and it worked really well. So I'll come back later and show you the next steps. So it's been about 7 hours now, and the next step is to rinse the shirt in cold water. So we're using a bathtub, but you could also do this in the sink. And I would suggest putting gloves on again for this step. So I'll put the bag there because it's going to dye. And I wasn't sure, I had to pause because I couldn't remember if you kept the rubber bands on while you're rinsing it or not, and you do. Keep your rubber bands on until the dye is gone. So you want to rinse it until the water is running clear, or pretty much clear. Okay, I think that looks good. Alright, turn that off. Alright, so next you're gonna cut the rubber bands. Don't pull them off, but cut them. I'll just make myself a little pile there. And obviously be careful of the shirt. There's one here. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it's looking good. Oops. Oh, that one came off. That's okay too, if they fall off. Okay, so that should be all of the rubber bands. So this is what it looks like wet. I think it's looking really good. So what I'm gonna do is put it in this bowl so that we can take it to the laundry room and it won't drip anywhere. And the last step is to wash it. wash it, and make sure you wash it with nothing else because the dye will run. And I will be back tomorrow to see the final result. Alright, so here's the final product. I'm giving it as a gift to somebody else, so that's why it looks huge on me, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love this color too. As I was saying, when I was dyeing it, I was concerned about the amount of dye. When I looked at it afterwards, I was a little concerned about the amount of dye that I put on it. I thought it would get too much blue, but once you rinse it out and some of the color comes out, and sometimes it looks like you have more than you really do. So I think it came out really fantastic. And I want to give a huge thank you to my mom for helping me out with this. She filmed and she helped me out with a bunch of steps behind the scenes, and even patched a little hole that I made in the shirt last night when I was cutting the rubber bands off. So this is what it looks like wet. Oh no, I cut a hole in it. I want to thank her. And thank you for watching. And if you recreate this at all, I would love to see what you've done, so you can send that to the Andover Senior Center. Thank you.